Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Your boy Z here. We in this bitch today because new vid that I'm Kevin has been dropped today. So without further ado, let's just jump to this shit. Before I say anything, I forgot to mention the title. It's called Vonquest Embarrass Mark. Now, I did a reaction video on Cool Uno 9 on the Cool Uno 9 vid, but it was crazy that Conquest literally fucking eviscerate Mark right there. He literally almost sent Eve. You know what? I'm not gonna spoil it anymore. So let's jump to the shit. Let's see what this nigga Kevin got to say about it.
Alan, the alien who defied all odds, survived when no one else could, fought 3 Viltrumites and living to tell the tale was no small feat. Omni-Man, a legend amongst his people, a war hero, a ruthless warrior, a conqueror. Separate they are forced to be reckoned with, but together, they're...
I saw what he did right there. Invincible. Yep.
I think this is the first time we see Ray in normal clothes. And you know, as much as I rock with Rex, I'd refuse to go anywhere public with this guy. People who grab stuff off the shelves and start eating out the box, why? They'll be like, yeah, I'm still going to pay for it, bro. You was not that hungry. Matter of fact, you're a stranger for the rest of the store trip. The only thing that's okay to eat before buying is like grapes, berries, stuff like that. You gotta taste test those first. Cause no way I'ma go home with a pack of grapes that taste like Sour Patch Kids. But what is...
Yeah, eating stuff before you even pay for it in a store is crazy. Like, you crazy for that shit, man. I mean, like, why would you even eat this shit? Like, I don't do that shit. Like, that's stupid. Like, you better pay for it before you even leave that store. Like, that's just crazy. Like, you don't give a fuck.
Ray trying to cook up with these ingredients. Got some cheddar cheese. Don't know if that's a cucumber or a zucchini. We're taking a gamble with that one. A can of mystery and whatever this is supposed to be. This concoction you're planning on brewing, just keep it away from me. And I don't blame Rex. He was like, oh, so you know how to cook?
No.
That's all he needed to hear. The man thought he was going to dine on a foreign cuisine, but now it all makes sense. She went on Google, typed in ingredients, and that's it. Went to images and started throwing everything she's seen in the basket. Now, this monster pulling up really just saved her day. The team doesn't have to consume the poison she was creating. And speaking of the team, Mark pulled up to ask Rudy about the drone. He did everything he can, but there's no trace back to who did it. So Mark was like, oh, I know who did this. Went straight to Cecil. And I don't care what no one tells me, Cecil is the coldest in the show. He knows damn well those robots not holding Mark down. But even so, he gotta keep up the image. He can be surrounded by 10 Viltrumites and he's still gonna talk like he can beat their ass. If we wanted to spy
His robots are sorry
on you, you never know it. Oh, don't let us keep you. Nah, bro, he talks as if he can back up what he's saying. And your teleports haven't been on point since Omni-Man was here. He couldn't land a finger on you, but Marcus had his hand around your neck twice now. So then we see Mark out with Eve, and this is so refreshing. Amber would have gave Mark the meanest stank face for being 30 seconds late. Superheroes need to make dating other superheroes a standard, because when stuff like this happens, a random portal opening beside you, you don't have to explain. Both parties understand. So these two are back, the ones who stole the Declaration of Independence. And now they're asking for Mark's help. And I see why Cecil called them robots. Mark, calm down. They said millions of lives are at stake and you still trying to walk them down. Like, let me explain. At a reasonable distance. So they tell him they need him to overthrow their king. He's the only one strong enough to do it. But Mark didn't give it a second thought. He just sat right back down until they forced him into the future timeline. He's already there, so he might as well help out, and I'm glad someone pointed this out.
Wow, you just have that on all the time?
Bro, I thought the same thing. You just got it folded in your back pocket or something. Then they tell us about their king. Once upon a time, he used to be a good ruler. Until he snapped. No one knows exactly why, but he just started forcing work camps, throwing people in jail, starting senseless wars. And if they resisted, he personally took it upon himself to take them down. And that's when the rebellion was born. I mean, I respect it, but I don't think guns will work on a man who can single-handedly nuke cities just because he felt like it. Only one had a gun, actually. The other two had swords. And turns out these two just casually made a time machine. You know, it was a random Sunday night and they say, you know what? Let's build the thing that scientists have been struggling for decades to make. No big deal. Just built it in a cave with a box of scraps. And Mark made sure to ask if it was a Viltrumite. Might have had a whole change of heart if that was the case. Where did he get that from? Was it just lying around or looked away for 1 second and now he got an AR in his hand? So the plan was to get arrested because that's the fastest way to get to the king. And when we do, it was immortal. Long ass beard and still can't grow a mustache. Tragic. But things get a little interesting. We find out that this timeline's Mark left everything to Immortal. Only reason he became this tyrant was to get him to come back. Now, as much shit we give Immortal, I have to admit his life is by far the hardest. This man has no choice but to live for centuries. He outlives everyone he loves. It's a miracle he lasted even for this long. And it's kind of sad how he did all this just so he can die. Mark is the only one strong enough to kill him. Now, knowing Mark, he wasn't gonna do it. He refused immediately. He was like, just quit being king if you don't want to be king. But it's more to it than that. He's mentally fried. Being a tyrant just gives him a reason to die. And when they were fighting, Mark was like, bro, just throw yourself into the sun. That was kind of crazy. But Immortal has too much pride to do that. That's a coward's way out, he said. And when these two walked in, he said, I bet. You think I'm joking? Look at what you made me. You know, it took a slight beating, but he finally ended his misery. And with his death, the robots automatically deactivated, so the people are now safe. He went back to his timeline, was feeling a little down, was a little blue, spirit's not so high, but if you have an Eve with you, gonna be right back to smiling. So they continued their date, did what they did, went back to the crib and also did what they did. And while this was going on, it's about time Alan made a move. Nolan was about to get executed, so he had to work fast. And they really got him back to full health just to beat him to death. Meanwhile, Alan is breaking out all the other inmates so they can join in. I thought this was a good plan too. Until they all started dropping, one by one. Next wave runs in just for the same fate to be dealt to them. So then Alan sees the big cell. And my question is, who was able to contain Battle Beast? I simply don't believe it. He must have let them capture him because there's no way. Alan just casually lifted the door. Battle Beast could have been left. He just hasn't caught a whiff of a worthy foe. He had no reason to leave yet. And I bet if...
Shit, Battle Beast, he should have been gone. Like, if Alan can get his one eye bulked up Cyclops ass door open with these, why the fuck you can't open the door? Like, that don't make no fucking sense. Like, you should have went out there and just going crazy over these niggas.
Alan didn't promise him Viltrumites, he would have swung on them right there and then. Now, I don't know who's stronger between the two because the boost Alan got really threw him to the top of the food chain. The guy went from a Cyberman to Goku. Not even a regular Saiyan, dude became the main character. Then they proceed to run through this prison happy as hell. I swear I've never seen Alan smile like this. Not even with his girl have I seen him this happy. But they eventually find where they took Nolan.
Oh man, you look terrible. Did you guys do this? That's not very nice.
The whole room was baffled by the nonsense that just escaped his mouth. Nolan was embarrassed to even be associated with you at this point. But then Battle Beast walks up with full intention on fighting his 2v1. You see the smile on his face, bro. This is a dangerous nigga. The only joy he gets from life is when his life is threatened. Meanwhile, Alan is fighting the other Viltrumite. Weave, slip, counter, jaw check, bait. Now hold the Superman pause. Shit. Does every Viltrumite have this skill? If is threatened. Meanwhile, Alan is fighting the other Viltrumite. Weave, slip, counter, jaw check, bait. Now hold the Superman pause. Shit. Does every Viltrumite have this skill unlocked? The last second weave? Anissa did it and now this guy. And this whole time I was watching, I was like, no way. This unknown Viltrumite is not putting the beats on you like this. So this is when
he just did on purpose so Army Man can, lock the fuck in and, do something. He just did it on purpose to let the nigga beat his ass. He got the Make-A-Wish moment to beat his ass, and then Army Man came up and just did work on him.
Nolan finally lets go of Viltrum. He's gonna start living for himself and the people he cares about. And whoever gets in the way of that is gonna find out real quick. Look at the form on that. Low to the ground, excellent dodge out of you. Both turns around, he sees that punch coming, dodges the uppercut, get the shit out of my face. But the defense is on 10. They're going dodge for dodge right now. Pitch. Both ran in, both landed a punch. But I'ma just say Nolan is out of shape. He hasn't fought in a while, is why he lost that. We can agree to that, right? But then Allen tagged himself back in. One punch laid him out. Nolan must have weakened him, right? Right, guys? Right? That guy wasn't done though. So Allen decided to break the wall, having everyone sucked into space. Not gonna lie, being an alien and not being able to breathe in space. And I'm not talking about the aliens that look like humans. I'm talking about the chopped aliens. If you're a chopped alien, like look at this nigga. Breathing in space should be a default setting. Anyways, we see Nolan grab this guy, and I bet Allen was waiting to catch a Viltrumite like this. After what they did to him, he wanted some type of revenge. Don't matter who it was, as long as you're a Viltrumite, he's satisfied. Got like 5 solid hits him before he broke free. Grabs his legs, threw him away. He flies back in. Nolan sees the window. Weave. Yeah, you're doomed, buddy. That's the way to go out. And who knows where
Got his shit crushed like a watermelon.
Battle Beast went. He's somewhere out there enjoying himself right now. But yeah, job well done. We also find out Allen was faking that beating he was getting earlier. Had to do something for Nolan to get up. But Allen was trying to dip. He didn't want to deal with any reinforcements showing up. That won't be happening. What? They don't know what just happened? Oh, they do, but they won't be sending anyone. There are fewer than 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites left. This is the Empire's most closely guarded secret. It's also why we can beat him. Nolan has officially joined the team. But not gonna lie, Viltrum sold. Y'all know your numbers are dwindling and you're not doing something about it. If y'all don't take 25 of those 50 people and, repopulate, y'all live for thousands of years. You can take a cool 20 to raise a child. That's nothing to you. And if you're worried about keeping control, you're good. Unless there's a whole species just like Battle Beast, you have nothing to worry about. Nobody's gonna test you, I promise. So we cut back to the fam real quick, and damn, Debbie, you just put at least 2,000 calories on a little boy's plate. But not gonna lie, Oliver is growing on me. He heard Mark and Eve last night and did not hesitate to make his thoughts known.
Mark wasn't sleeping. He and Eve had a sleepover.
But this is when Mark told Debbie about moving out. And he was dead serious to the point where they started a business name and this has to be another standard for superheroes. I understand y'all do this from the kindness of your heart, but it won't hurt to get a little paycheck. Mark just became the personal bodyguard for this prison. Yo, Spider-Man, take notes. It hurts my soul every time you can't make those rent payments. But now we see Tyen. And if you remember, he was told to get Multi-Paw out of jail, which, failed. So he had to take matters into his own hands. This man duped himself enough to break through prison walls. And honestly, even though him and Kate have the same powers, he doesn't look nowhere near as sorry. Now, I won't lie, Kate does have her moments, but she's not consistent. One fight, she's doing excellent combos, but the next, she's feeding the enemy score streaks. But then Paul runs for the exit, but ends up getting a collar on his neck. And the reason I didn't question this earlier is because I just assumed something like this didn't exist. Y'all can suppress powers this whole time. I would have put this on him the millisecond he stepped foot in this building. But later on, he's talking with Kate when they mention their father. This man went from raising 2 kids to 27. I can see why he lost it. After that is when they were taken to be trained. Until one night, Paul said he's not doing this no more and just left. He wanted Kate to go with him, but obviously she didn't. All she wants to do now is give him a way out. But once you step foot on the path Paul has chosen, it's not easy making your way back. And then we see the leader of the order complaining about getting Multi-Paw back, and Tyen pretty much said, if I had to sum it up, fuck off. Now the problem with living a life like this is having a family. The main villain will always find the people you care about without fail. He didn't do anything to them, but he just made sure that you know that he knows. Everything was fine though. Daughter was talking about she had a good day at school, got an A on the math test. Oh, and she sold all her Girl Scout cookies.
A tiny old man with a metal mouth bottom.
That right there is when he knew he had to make a move. First thing he did was meet up with Machine Head, his former boss. And Tyen is smart. He didn't get his position by being the strongest. And I think that's why he's here. To remind Machine Head how he outsmarted him, how he took his spot, rile him up a little bit so he can be useful later. Then a few days pass, he makes his way back to the prison, not with the plan of breaking out Paul or Machine Head, but with having a talk with Mark. Tyen was like, yeah, I know the last time we saw each other, things ain't end too well, but we gotta talk. A lot of people will die.
This is still some bullshit.
Yo, I was dying when I saw this shit. But he was telling Mark, yeah, bet you don't recognize this place, huh? It used to be a war zone until I stepped in. No more murders, no more crime. Nobody's scared to actually live here. But the problem with Mark is that he plays strictly by the book. He's seen how much of a difference Tyan made here. Tyan's whole character is that nothing is ever black and white. But Mark can't seem to grasp that. Yeah, he did crimes in the past. Yeah, he led you to getting one of the most vicious ass beatings of your entire life. But look what it resulted in. Safety. Not just for him, but for everyone who lives here. Best part though is when he escapes through the sewers and popped the Shadow Clone Jutsu.
We all look the same to you, hero?
See, that's the exact moment when Mark gave up. Yeah, he could probably check under everyone's hood cause super speed, right? But that's not a risk he's willing to take. He does that, the next day he gonna see headlines saying, breaking news. Invincible is a racist.
Your time is up. Where is my assassin?
Now imagine if he did have him. Would have broke the door for no reason. But Tyan standing his ground. He said, yeah, I don't got him. And what? Should have known. The guy has his initial on his shirt. Should have known the type of nigga he was. So old man proceeds to turn himself into a dragon, threw Tyan out the window, makes his way to the prison where Mark and Eve arrive on the scene, and peep the team attack. Yo, Eve will always have the coolest power. He swung her around, clocked him square in the jaw, but the combo isn't over. They both fly in with the Superman punch and I don't know, did they miss or was his head smacking into the wall, the punch landing? While all that was going on, Paul was able to duplicate out the collar. But Eve came through and made easy work of everyone. Now Paul put up a good resistance, but her power is simply unfair. He did have a clone out somewhere, so that prison meant nothing. Don't know when he did that. But then we cut back to Mark losing again. You hold back way too much. This dragon should not have landed as many hits as he did. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. This was a great play. Breaking the ground, flew up into the air, and for a man who doesn't want to kill, now it's for damn sure a killing blow. He has no idea their body is separate. Then we cut to Machine Head, and this man could have ended this an hour ago. Before coming here, he got his head fixed, picked up a new suit, bro had other priorities. Then Isotope came through, teleported the buff guy 100 feet in the air, and honestly, why didn't you do this earlier? If all it took was a hand on the shoulder, we could have been stopped this easily. The old man isn't nothing special without his bodyguard. And I hate how it took doing this for Mark not to get bodied. I don't know, I'm starting to have questions. Are we sure he's a Viltrumite? But with the old man being out of the picture, that gave Machine Head an open lane to become the new boss. And you know, Tyan had to come through and make sure they know he's out. He's not with them no more. Just keep your hands off my city and everything's good. And honestly, after the performance he put up twice at that, you got it, bro. At this point, you deserve it. I hope this isn't the last time we see Tyan, because he's actually a cool character. But then we see Kate again when she sees what Paul left her. I don't know if this is just to let her know he's out or if it's some signal for something, but we'll find out eventually. Also turns out neither one of these two are dead. Dude fell from the sky and all he got was a broken arm. Anyways, afterwards him and Eve...
That's crazy. How the fuck you survived that fall? You're supposed to be dead. You're supposed to be GG's. That's crazy he survived that shit. Only a broken arm? I mean, sure, no, because he's muscular as hell.
We're talking and decided to hold off on the apartment. They are moving extremely fast. Y'all got together like last week and they're only what, 19 years old? Let's hit the brakes a little bit. And you know what's crazy? I've seen so many people talk about how this episode is filler, and I kinda understand, but what Invincible does well is make me interested in more than just the main character. You telling me Tyan outsmarting everyone wasn't fire? Every character has something to him that can be expanded on. We have obviously Mark's story and his relationship with Eve, and Eve herself has a good story. On paper, her powers are overpowered, but she has to learn how to use them effectively. There's Kate and Paul. They're related but went on two different paths. There's Debbie, and we're seeing how she's handling everything. There's Rex and Ray, and I feel like we have to mention how much Rex changed. He went from being a dickhead to actually being thoughtful. He remembered how Ray said she wanted to eat a home-cooked meal, so he took it upon himself to get it done. Gotta respect it. Also, there's Oliver and how we don't know the type of man he's going to become. Is he going to be more like his brother or more how his dad used to be? And speaking of his dad, no...
He might be his dad. Shit, that nigga don't give a fuck. Oliver, he might be just like his dad, I believe. or maybe both. I don't know. We'll find out if he once he gets older. Hopefully, the series doesn't end doesn't end, you know, and like very soon. Hopefully around like maybe next season he gets older or whatever. But we'll find out.
Nolan and Allen. I think it's pretty obvious how interesting that storyline is. And I almost forgot the Caesar versus Mark and the whole Guardian Civil War shit. Like, all I'm trying to say is if you're calling this filler, the show isn't for you. Watch something else. Anyways, so we know how the fight with Omni-Man and Mark affected a lot of people, but we see how it affected this guy specifically. So his sister and niece were killed during the fight, and ever since then, he's pretty much been an invincible hater. And honestly, can't even blame him. I'd be mad at everyone involved in that too. So this whole time, he's been gathering signatures for Invincible to be sent to trial, which obviously that was not gonna work. Funny part is, he's in the GDA. Your best bet is talking to Caesar about it, but even then, I promise Caesar will not give a damn about whatever you got going on. Oh, hell nah. They asked what villain we wanted, we said the Rhino. We got Rhino at home, face ass. For your own good, I hope being an elephant is your superpower. I hope this is like that one giraffe devil fruit, cause this is bad. Ain't no way you made this suit and thought it was heat. It's even worse, cause they're using you as a training dummy for Oliver. And even Oliver was mad, he ain't wanna fight your weak ass. What are you doing terrorizing a Burger King? Nigga, if you're gonna be a villain, at least get something out of it. He's doing this for a Whopper and fries, bro. If you need $15, just ask. So afterwards, they're talking and Oliver
$15 or $20, shit. Like, come on, man. Like, you going to terrorize some McDonald's or Burger King? Like, bro, if you want some food, I got you. Like, you don't have to fucking throw the chair, throw the whole damn table, and prove your point. Like, man, if you want to make a deal, go attack Walmart. Oh, I give a fuck.
brings up his dad.
Will people here ever forgive him?
No.
I'll keep it real with you, absolutely not. He can save the world again, but negative will always outweigh the positive. It sucks, but that's just how the human brain works. You can get 1,000 compliments a day, but it's that one insult that will stick with you.
Invincible!
You know, for a guy who hates Invincible, you sure did take that nigga whole flow. Hey, copy my homework, but don't make it obvious, stupid ass. But his costume is worse though, cause like, why have a mask if you're not gonna cover your face? What is covering just the back of your head gonna do? But turns out he stole these things from the lab, and what they do is pretty much the more damage you take, the stronger you get. So she started whacking that man. Like, imagine if it didn't work. Man would have been on the floor, knocked out, unconscious. Honestly, the most surprising thing is how this man got a wife and a child. Then we cut to some family time, and all that's going through my head is that Paul might be hold. I don't know if this is going to end well for him. Cause if Nolan somehow, some way gets to spend time with Debbie, GG's. Like, Paul is a cool dude, but like, Debbie's ex is literal Superman. Like, let's say you married Wonder Woman. That's all I gotta say, because you know damn well we are not moving on. And speaking of relationships,
I mean, if she was like Wonder Woman, Batwoman, or I'm not saying Catwoman, hell no. Now, if we talk about the old school Catwoman, like before Catwoman would pick up the worst films in history, then I won't move on for nothing. Or maybe if it's a Hancock. If you watch Hancock, you know what I'm talking about. If she like had the powers of Hancock, the woman from Hancock, whatever, we would never move on from that. But that nigga is sorry.
we see they're having this triple date thing, and boy, my girl hug a nigga like that, especially her ex, I'm walking out that bitch. I don't give a damn. You know, at first I thought he was trying to learn to fly or something, but nah, he just slammed into the ground. And bro, when I tell you they were using the title card to its fullest potential, every sentence they hit us with one. So then Shapesmith pulled up, and I'm not even gonna drag it, the dude got dealt with. So it's been a couple days, and today's the memorial for everyone who died. And they couldn't even get 5 seconds into the speech before Sparkles pulled up. He's yelling for Invincible again, but we're gonna let Eve handle this. And whatever these little walls are that you keep putting up like every fight, can we not up the durability on those, because they get shattered every time, and so easily at that. She still won though, shout out Bungee Gum. But the thing is though,
Bungee gum, bubble gum.
Any little damage activates the suit. So even when he got caught, he simply banged his body on the seats, and I'm gonna assume it messed up the steering, because from here, it looked like this guy just swerved that bitch for no reason. So Sparkles ends up getting back home, talks to his wife, and that's when they come up with a plan. Gonna act like he has hostages to force Mark to come down here. Obviously, that's what he's gonna do, and he wasn't even trying to fight. He tried to take a page from Naruto and talk his way out, but this man
Talk to jutsu on that nigga, but ain't gonna be no talk to jutsu up in this fucking fight.
is too far gone. But even then, Mark still didn't want to fight until he finally realized this dude is actually bugging. So he goes to help the lady. Man, I would have left so quick. Spitting.
Spit on my. Okay. I've been like. Her brains be all over that fucking wall. No, I mean, I don't. Nah, that's dirt nasty, but I don't want to do it to a child. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. You can stay and die. Oh, I fucking give a shit. Spit my damn face like this? Yeah. I'm yeah. Stay and die. You can die with your child. I'm sorry. But spit my face, that's where you cross the line.
So he goes to help the lady. Man, I would have left so quick. Spitting on someone has to be the most disrespectful thing you can do. Then Sparkles proceeds to drag this man, hands on both sides of the head, electrocuting him crazy, but then he turns around. Bro, honestly, I don't feel bad for Sparkles or the wife. I feel bad for the kid. Didn't even get a chance. He was just surrounded by his parents' nonsense. And Mark ended up winning by giving him a hug. Calmed him down, I guess. So he's now in jail. Find out they can't remove the disc without killing him, so Mark wants to go talk to him. And honestly, it doesn't matter what Mark said, the response would have been the same. When I get out of here, I'ma kill you. Yeah, I don't know what you were expecting, but it doesn't end there. Look at him, all happy chilling with his girl. You better enjoy these last few moments, cause I'm about to fuck your whole world up. This man really got a group of evil Marks to jump the one good Mark. Like this one specifically did something crazy. He should be the one you focusing on. And I was like, oh, he's probably gonna send the man one at a time to wear Mark down, but boy, was I wrong. He sent the full troop out. They were terrorizing the entire globe. So first stop was the prison weave. Yo, I was fully expecting Mark to get robbed. Never mind. That uppercut leg grab slam was filthy. And low key, I got scared here for a second. I was like, no way you're gonna lose to the first variant, but good thing he locked in. But the thing is though, he proceeded to get jumped right after, like shorty pieced his ass up. And this was the best gift Powerplex could have ever gotten. He was ecstatic. But they eventually took care of that one. So then we see that Cecil also handled one. And this is when we found out that these variants, or at least some of them, aren't as strong as our Mark. This variant got messed up by the same robots that our Mark bodied. Now, there is 18 of them, so they may not be as strong, but at the end of the day, a Viltrumite is still a Viltrumite. I really hope somebody got Battle Beast's number, because he will love it here. But then we also see that
Definitely. Once he had the mallet, he would have a field day with these niggas.
Oliver's out in the field when he thought he found Mark. Yeah, of course not. But if you thought that was enough to take down Oliver, you're mistaken. Between the legs, I mean right to the back, and that's when reinforcements came through.
I murdered my own father. You really think you're gonna take me down?
Yeah, we already knew black and yellow was a problem, but that
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
right there just threw him higher on the danger scale. Telling this guy that did not change the situation at all. He just wanted to flex his achievement. And what is this now, the 5th one we seen? But this little boy should have stood home. Now I won't lie, that tag team combo was clean, but after the 17th air ball, I knew y'all wasn't gonna win.
Oh my God.
So Mark and Eve pull up.
He did get squashed. Oh. We gotta watch that again.
But after the 17th air ball, I knew y'all wasn't gonna win.
Oh my God.
His ass should stay in school, but no, that's what happens. We can do it one more time. He should have stayed at school.
Combo was clean, but after the 17th air ball, I knew y'all wasn't gonna win.
Oh my god.
So Mark and Eve pull up on another one and they wasted no time. This man could not catch his breath, was in a mean stun lock. So another Mark arrived, making this a 2v2, and Mark immediately told Eve to skedaddle. And honestly, I don't blame him. With any other threat, we love to have you. But those drywalls you love to put up so much ain't gonna work against these guys. And look, we was given a perfect demonstration. Meanwhile, Eve, slip, duck, grab the arm, sit your ass down. Don't worry, Eve going away. Grabbed him by the cape, but the other came right back. Now, Eve, we appreciate the save, but please leave. You for real almost died. We can handle it.
Yeah, Eve, please leave. Those walls ain't shit.
2v1. Good hit, but he blocked the overhead. Same time, firmly grabs the neck. Yo, punk ass down, boy. But he really goes
Got choke slam.
after Eve. No surprise the wall didn't work, but he grabs the leg. Now, you're lucky Cecil came through with those robots and was able to get you to safety. But Eve, listen to me and listen to me closely. I think it's about time to hit up that skill tree and use some of those points. I know I just gave you some slack saying you're learning how to use your powers for real, but frankly, we're entering dangerous territory. We're no longer fighting those low-level thugs, those little bank robbers. Now, we in the big leagues now. That construction paper you keep throwing up ain't gonna cut it. I know she isn't as physically gifted as a Viltrumite, not as fast, not as strong, but her power is atom manipulation. We've seen her do things from changing clothes, making coffee, to building a whole house. Is there a limit? Cause if not, I can think of a few things. Example, all the bones in your body is now jelly. All the blood in your body is now glue. Now, will that go against her heroic code? Probably, but when Viltrumites are involved,
Just watch it to the end. Once Conquest came through, Conquest come through, and they handle it, you'll see. I ain't gonna spoil it. You'll see.
fuck that code. You know how lucky, but when Viltrumites are involved, fuck that code. You know how lucky we are these other marks weren't training like our mark? Listen, Eve, we got lucky this time, but next time you might not make it back. And when we saw this one falling, I actually sat here baffled. Like, who was strong enough to do that? Did Battle Beast actually pull up? Is Alan and Nolan here? But no, it was Immortal. This is the exact moment where I thought to myself, yeah, we definitely won this. Cause if Immortal is putting up numbers on the stat sheet, these guys must really suck. Immortal hasn't gotten a win since... Has he ever won? Actually, I truly don't remember. But the fight wasn't over. They took it to the cave. And of course, the whole team was laid out. I don't think any of us were surprised. But Immortal was actually boxing like he was doing damage. Darkwing was still up too, putting some work in. Though this mark isn't going down, and he nearly did you like the original, boy. That could have ended way worse. And mid-fight, he started...
I know nigga Batman. I know nigga bat nigga man. No, excuse me. Bat nigga got PTSD for that slam. Like father, like son moment.
making fun of how he murked Randy.
Help! I don't want to not be living!
And he was having so much fun that when Immortal ruined his moment, he proceeds to one, grab the face, punched him down, and with ease, stomped his head off. Not done though, he kicks it up and murks Kate with it too. So with how effortlessly he did that, he must have been holding back this whole time, and it makes sense. The fact that Darkwing survived that slam is proof enough, but him not confirming that kill was his biggest mistake. Darkwing comes through and traps him in the Shadowverse, sacrificed himself for the greater good. But the other team was having some trouble too. Not much Rudy can do against a Viltrumite. That's when Bulletproof saves him, but he kicks him off, back busted on the roof. Mid-fall, he clocks the jaw like damn. So Rex wakes up and immediately made a decision to hold this mark back while Bulletproof gets the other two out of here. And not gonna lie, he was putting on a show, but that wasn't enough to kill him. Yo, Mark, our Mark, I don't know if you're trying to make an entrance, but we need you, bro. Yo, Caesar, we gonna need those robots, man.
I've got one thing left.
Mm-hmm. And what's that?
My entire goddamn skeleton, dickhead.
Trust anyone anymore. Why? Because the one person I thought would never turn on me, turned on me. The one person I thought would never hurt me, hurt me, the one person I thought would never leave me, left me. So tell me, why should I trust anyone else?
You know, out of everyone we could have lost, Rex is the last one I wanted to go. At least he went out like a G. Took one with him. Then we see Mark by Eve's side when Cecil tells him he needs to get back out there. And I 100% agree. It's not like Eve is critically injured. You gotta go fight. And when Cecil told him that Oliver and Debbie is out there and he still refused, not gonna lie, that pissed me off. Protecting your family should be your #1 priority. At least you know where Eve's at. Your family's whereabouts are unknown to you, especially when their rendezvous point was your mother's house. You're so lucky Debbie left, and I promise if she was still here and died because of that, I would have cut this shit off so quick. But these are the remaining marks left, and they decided to go against Angstrom since his plan got half of them killed, but he just simply sends them to another dimension. That's when Cecil told Mark about where he was at, so it's time to get to work. It ain't gonna be as simple though. Angstrom got some new tricks up his sleeve, and I'm so glad Mark isn't just running into the portals like he did last time. His performance is 10 times better. This was looking like a free dub until... This man has 1,000 drones at his disposal, so this was gonna be Mark's final push. Angstrom sends the drones again, pushing him back, and he was like, oh, don't worry, Mark, I'll bring you back after I destroy everything you love. Bro, you think you can just say that and get away with it? You just gave that man a boost in spirit and animation quality, and once them drones started running low, it was free eats from there. And look at Oliver, bro.
Do it! Kill him! Before he escapes or something! Look at what he did! Kill him so he can never do this again! What are you waiting for?
Nah, scratch everything I said in the first video. I rock with Oliver heavy, boy. He knows what needs to be done.
You've given me no choice.
He got folded. Like, you took too much time. You should have listened to your little bro, man. I would have did it right there. This motherfucker came back from the dead and terrorized my ass and brought all these multiverse of myself trying to whoop my ass and shit. You should have killed him, bro. You should have killed him.
Damn it, Mark. Nah, next time have Oliver run point. He would have murked him the second he got his hands on him. Man, Oliver, I apologize for ever doubting you, bro. Listen, we gotta put you on that training regimen and we gonna really be unstoppable. See, we're lucky those technicians put him in check. It was something about not doing his end of a deal. Now, they didn't kill him, so it's still possible he'll come back. But if Angstrom got to come back for a third time, who knows what he could pull out. Imagine if he got an army of battle beasts. Now, he has to go. But yeah, the Invincibles aren't here, but the damage they caused, they destroyed 3 of the biggest cities in America and like 7 more cities in other countries. And this whole situation is just gonna push Mark further down that hole. He was already beating himself up about Powerplex, thinking the Chicago incident is his fault, and he was the reason he became that way. And when Powerplex electrocuted his family, Mark blamed himself for that too. And now this got thrown on his plate, he's probably gonna blame himself again.
Kate, I want to start a family with you.
Yes.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Man, get this off my screen. Out of everyone, y'all get the happy ending. The 2 sorriest niggas in the show. The only thing y'all did together was get your ass beat. Couples goals, I guess. Should have been Rex and Ray, man. But if you thought the situation could have get any worse, boy oh boy, you couldn't have been more wrong.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Now, I don't know how I expected Mark to act, but it for damn sure wasn't this. That boy was fiending to hit something, and for it to be a Viltrumite, he don't gotta hold back. And it's funny because Conquest immediately drops him and proceeds to tell him, yeah, if Anissa was here, she'll probably tell you to stop resisting. But me, I don't give a damn. Resist, don't resist, I'ma beat your ass either way. I'm not here to spread the tales of the Empire. I just want to fight. Now, I thought he was gonna go way further than that, the Empire. I just want to fight. Now, I thought he was going to go way further than that. In fact, he gave it a rating. He said, yeah, it was okay, just work on your form next time. So Mark proceeds to spear this man through multiple buildings, and somehow Mark was the one who got trapped underneath. And when Conquest said that all he cares about is fighting, he was dead serious. He wasn't really talking like a villain whatsoever. It sounded like he was giving that man pointers. But Mark proceeded to land a combo that I didn't think he had in him. That left hook dropped him. Followed up with the right into the uppercut. We in the air with it now. Now get your ass back here. Peep the hand on the back of the head. This knee right here was intended to go through the gut. But then he pushes him up, busts a U-turn to get that speed. That hit knocked him all the way to space. Now this whole time, I thought Mark was cooking. I was surprised at how good his performance was. Until I saw what Conquest did next. The man made his blood into a heart, like only a sick individual would think of something like that. How does one find out they have this talent? I don't think anyone else in this show has made such a detailed facial expression. The next 30 minutes or so is going to be straight hell for you, Mark. So once they got back down, I don't know, Mark must have been feeling himself. Cause he was like, you still think this is going to go your way? Who do you think you are? He don't even know what's about to happen. He's gonna wake up confused on why his face hurt. And this next scene just confirmed where all that budget went. Look at the camera work. This is a whole different show. We getting impact frames and shit, and still the camera work with Oliver pulling up. Excellent. And he proceeds to watch his brother get juggled across the map. Like this combo wasn't stopping. And this specific scene right here with him trying to get up, I don't know, I'm just not used to this. Personally, I never had a problem with the animation, but this is a whole 180. If y'all continue with this format, I'm cool with that. Decent animation for majority, and the big fights is where you throw that budget, that's perfect. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to wait 4 years in between seasons. But if y'all look at Conquest's face, he had full intention of going headfirst into Mark's sternum.
Just listen.
You was given a chance and you wasted it. But don't lose hope. You can still do this.
On the roof!
Yeah, Oliver, let's...
Smack down. He got fucking smacked down. Oh my god.
Now, yeah, Oliver, let's... Now, did I expect Oliver to do damage? Not really. But did I expect him to get folded that quickly? Not at all. Look at the form of this slap. This is a form of a man who practiced this shit. Open palm, put him in a ridiculousness pose. And yo, Oliver really just became one of my favorite characters in the span of like 3 episodes. He knows damn well he can't hang with Conquest, but stood 10 toes beside Mark. Not a word had to be said. Lil bro threw the dukes up expeditiously. If we gon' die, we gon' die fighting. But then Conquest speared Mark while giving him more pointers. The time I spent killing him might have given you a moment to gather your thoughts.
What?
Where is your Viltrumite heart? Show me your power. Show me your rage. Tanjiro told him that one. But he isn't done yet. Hit him with 3 full body crosses. Like, look at the extension on those. Uppercut, overhand, uppercut. Now get your ass up. Was punching him so fast, started looking like he was lagging. And he had nothing but a smile on his face. He was getting tickled. And while all this was going on, Eve wakes up, sees what's going on with Mark, and was instantly ready to get on the field. We go back to Mark and just look at the shot. This might be the thumbnail, I don't know. Mark is getting a ragdolled out there.
That might be my thumbnail, Kev.
He's sending him through buildings, and this is so unfortunate. Imagine you're these people. Out of all the buildings you can ransack, out of all the floors this building has, matter of fact, it just had to be this one. And this whole time, I'm just...
Bro. Yo... Oh my god, this shit got ass in my face. Oh my god, I posted a great moment, great second, and I got ass on my face. Yeah, if you in the Marvel, if you in the Invincible universe, if you in Dragon Ball's universe, you're not safe. Okay, no matter what universe you're in, you're not safe. You're done.
Analyzing his moveset, and I came to the conclusion that we need an Invincible game ASAP. I will either main Conquest or Nolan easily. Yo, some company needs to get on that. But then Oliver tagged himself back in, and that face is of pure annoyance. He's not mad, just annoyed. And seeing what this dude does to Oliver, first off, he knocked out half his teeth, then proceeds to stretch his body out. I was tense this whole scene. With this show, anything can happen. We saw how Rex went from building a relationship
You a child, you're gonna get it.
one episode to dying in the next. Good thing Mark tackled him though, but the way he just hard stopped in the air, gripped the skull, and the punch was so hard it shattered the glass. But not gonna lie, he ate that though. Answered back with a punch of his own. But what we see next is part 2 of the iconic train scene. Which one y'all think was worse? Conquest definitely caught way more bodies, but the train, that just looked more violent. It's kinda up in the air for me, I don't know which one's worse. But Mark said he's had enough, escaped the hold, connected with a mean left, and that's when Eve came through. And the first thing she does is put up that weak ass wall again.
What?
Like, Eve, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna need to do more than that. But that resulted in Mark getting his leg broken. So Eve, this is the most important time of your life. You have to perform. First off, this transform scene will always be fire. And second off, she just increased the density of the air. So you're finally doing the OP things your powers can do. This move should have been in your arsenal. But for real though, Eve was cooking beyond belief. She was doing things that she has never done a day in her life. Putting a barrier around someone's head like this move right here would work on 90% of her villains. But he was really getting overwhelmed. Eve was on his ass, putting constant pressure on him. And even turned the spikes into water. It's like she just remembered what her powers can do. Now that was an excellent performance, but like I said, Viltrumites is too much for you. You got like a 100 hit combo but did like 2 damage. The moment you stopped putting constant pressure, it was wraps. Took out the first leg armor, then the second, got up close, there goes the helmet, ripped the arm ones off.
What did I just see? What did I just see?
Cecil! I need you, Cecil!
Are you not going to answer him, sir? I mean, yeah, I'm here. I'm with you, Mark. Don't worry, I'm on the way right now. Shouldn't you get going, sir? Absolutely not. I done told her ass not to go out there, and look what happened. Shorty got her jaw inverted, arm through the stomach, and he's calling me as if that behemoth isn't 2 feet away. What do I look like?
I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow.
Now hear me out. Am I the only one who thought that was corny? Like him saying the see the future thing ruined it. That quote doesn't fit him. Your powers is hit hard, move fast. Why are we talking about the future? I feel like if you just cut out the I see the future part, it would have been way better.
I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. You don't live to see tomorrow.
Ran in, clashed, both arms broke, and Mark wasn't gonna let you breathe. You gonna catch this combo whether you want to or not. Now he does get the bear hug off, but Mark just took a quick little bite. And this shot is so clean. Fighting in front of Eve's body with the camera panning.
Nice.
But this is when everything I said earlier goes completely out the window. She can't really learn how to use her power. She has to awaken it like the Avatar. Now Mark was already putting work in, but him looking away was detrimental to his hip. That leg is hitting nothing but hip. He is never gonna walk the same again. But then he proceeds to whisper in his ear about how lonely he is. Gave him his whole life story in the form of a whisper. Like, get out my ear, speak normally. But the way he got his name is hard though. The Viltrumites are scared of him. No one talked to him. No one wanted to be his friend. None of that. They just sent him from planet to planet. Conquest after conquest.
Take it to your grave.
And just when he was going to end Mark is when Eve stepped up. Eviscerated that man down to just his muscle. Now that would have killed anyone that isn't Conquest. So after seeing that, we have a clear understanding on where Eve stands. She should never lose to anyone that isn't a Viltrumite. Viltrumites are her kryptonite. She drops down to a support class when fighting them. She has a whole god form, and Conquest got up like it was a little punch. So Mark knocked him down, throwing punch after punch. Yeah, calm that down. Got more than enough fight left for you, boy. Shattered the hand, and I truly thought he was gonna get up and start boxing again. But good thing Mark used that head of his. He started going crazy. headbutt after headbutt. You're about to have the craziest headache. And then Cecil comes through
Craziest CTE after this shit.
with all these heroes, and he made sure to wait. He put up at the very last moment where we didn't need your help. Just enough time to put his name on the project like he did something. But it's been 3 days since then. Mark is good. Eve is with him, and that's when she tells him about her powers. So turns out she would be overpowered if they didn't put mental blockers in her head to limit what she can do. So I guess that whole rant I had yesterday is completely pointless. I'm not gonna edit it out either. But then we cut to Rex's funeral, and not gonna lie, 97% of y'all don't even have a mask on. You could have pulled up in a suit, dress, whatever. Superhero suit not gonna change the way your face look. Rudy and Monster Girl arrived correctly, but what Rudy does here, mad weird. He announces that he'll be changing his name to Rex. You already took his face and now his name. No, I will not be calling your bitch ass Rex. 2 final things here though. Cecil, the fuck are you doing? You saved his life instead of burning him like Mark said. Are you stupid? I don't care how much bombs and metal you threw around him. He survived atom manipulation. Or whatever it is that Eve did to him. I just know he got up from it. If he gets out of that, so many people are doomed. But finally, Mark has a little...
That's stupid. That the way Cecil just brought him to this base, whatever. You should have just let him dead. But no, you want to bring him to your base and leave him alive. Leave him how he is right now. I would have just burnt that nigga I would just eviscerate that nigga. Fuck that. Stupid ass nigga. That's what the government did to us.
Little convo with Oliver.
So if anyone else ever puts my family or anyone I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them.
About time. You need that mindset for the type of people you'll be fighting. But yeah, that season 3 went by way too fast. Heard season 4 is already confirmed though. I will be patiently waiting. And Mark, you really might be...
Yep.
Al.
He is invincible. Cause after all, he locked in this season. He locked in, and I want him more locked in when the next season comes. See, season 4 comes. I bet sure Mark better keep that same energy. So W for the bomb, Kevin, and I'll see you guys next time, motherfuckers. Peace in the Middle East. See ya.